Hey there, this is going to be our first video talking about how to multiply exponents. Specifically, really our focus is going to be how do we use expanded form. So when I see something like this, 2a to the third b squared times 4a to the fifth b to the 11th, what I'm hoping you'll do is you're going to write out the 2 that you see, but then instead of a to the third, what that represents, a times a times a, and then a b times b. Before you write times 4, a to the fifth, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when it comes to this b to the 11th, I don't actually want to write out 11 b's. That's a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 2 b's. I'm going to put 3 dots. Then I'm going to put one last b to say, look, there's a whole bunch of b's here. Then what I do is I write an 11 underneath. And you'll see why that becomes useful in a moment. So what I now do is I'm going to say, what things can I put together? So I can multiply 2 and 4. And I know when I multiply those things, I've got 8. I can also multiply all the a's. So I've got one a here, a second a here, a third a here, which makes sense. It was a to the third. This is my fourth, my fifth, my sixth, seventh, and eighth. And that also makes sense because I've got 3 a's here and 5 more a's here. So that means I have a to the 8th power as I was able to count up. And lastly, I'm going to try and make sense of all the b's I've got. So I've got 1 here, a second here. Those are the b squared, b to the 2nd power. I've got 2 already. And then I come here and I'd start counting, but I noticed I've got 11 more. That's what this is telling me. So I have 2 plus 11 more. I have 13. Now, again, do I really have to write this out? If I know that I've got 2 here and 11 more here, I can just add those up without writing in an expanded form. But our expectation for you at this point is please write down everything. All right, so now let's do one more, take a quick look. If I take a look at our second example, we're going to basically do the same thing. We're going to start off by writing things in expanded form. This time we've got a 5. Holy cow, 12 A's. So again, that idea of writing out not all of them. I'll write 2 A's to start off to get the idea, 3 dots, then a third A, and what I'm going to write is the 12 underneath. When I come to the B, I see, oh my gosh, there's a ton of B's. B to the 11th. So again, B times B times dot, 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 times one more B, and I've got 11 of those. I come to C, I'll do all 3 of those because that's not that many. I can handle that. All this is being multiplied by 3, a to the third, or a times a times a. We've got b to the 10th. So again, I don't want to do 10 b's, so I just do my trick where I put a couple of periods down to say this is what it looks like. I'll put a 10 underneath, and then 2 more c's. And having written that out, now I start saying, what do I have that can go together? So I've got a 5 and a 3. When I multiply those together, I've got 15. Now I start looking at my A's, and I say, wow, I've got 12 A's here. So this would make this number 13, number 14, and number 15. So I've got a to the 15th. And again, that sort of makes sense if I'm paying attention to those exponents saying, I've got 12 A's here, and I've got 3 more. That's 12 plus 3 more, 15. Okay, that makes sense. For our B's, I know I've got 11. So counting on, this would be 12 and 13, but I really have 10 more. I don't want to count all of these. And I didn't write them all out to count them on. So I have to take a leap here and say, all right, if I've got 11 in the first group and 10 more in my second group, I've got a total of 21 B's. And so that's what I'm going to write up. Again, I'm adding those exponents together because this means I have 11 and this means I have 10 more. And last but certainly not least, I want to look at my C's. I've got 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Well, that makes this the 4th, and this the fifth, which means we have c to the fifth. So c cubed times c squared means I have 3 c's and 2 more c's or 5 c's. So this would be your answer. Good luck and enjoy.